Well, hello there, gang. Welcome to the 30. This is your host, Patrick, episode 135. I want to thank you for being here. This is our continuation of our Black History celebration. Thanks for joining me on today. I'm certainly glad that you decided to stop in. Do me a huge favor if you can. Make sure that you like and share this broadcast. Share it out to your friends. If you're watching us, whether you're watching us from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, we are happy that you are here. The 30 is a weekly broadcast where we focus on providing you with valuable information to help you enhance your personal and professional lives. You know, folks, this month we've been starting last week. We started with our opening as our focus was on the celebrating of the richness and diversity of Black history with our month-long celebration series. And last week, we had our first guest hailing from North Carolina, Kara Deschamps from North Carolina. As I said, she's the Vice President of Business Development at Wayforth, which is a move management company. And today we're going to continue. Kara was fantastic on last week, so go back, whether you are going to view it on LinkedIn or from YouTube. If you're going to watch it from YouTube, make sure you go to Jackman Group LLC on YouTube, and you'll see all of our episodes, all of our programs there. So, but this week we're going to make a shift. We're going to move from North Carolina. We're going to come back home to Rochester. And this week, our focus is on entrepreneurship. You know, with the Super Bowl coming up this in a couple of days here, and then after that, 2 days after the Super Bowl, then we have something special, which we call the Love Day, Valentine's Day, right? Our guest, and she's going to tell us because she's going to help us all out. Men, women, whoever you are, she's going to help us out. If you're in Rochester, the Monroe County area, she's going to hook us up because she's going to help us out with some sweets. If you are into cakes, if you're into eating something sweet, if you're into giving sweets, our guest is going to be talking all about sweets. I call her. This is not what others call her, but I call her the cake lady because she's going to talk about cakes. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I can't wait. I wanted to interview her. My wife came home last year and said, hey, this lady, she has a cake store and it is fantastic. And I'm saying, okay, I have to interview her. So finally, it came together. Another friend of ours connected us and I said, hey, do you want to come on the show? She obliged. And here she is, folks. Welcome to the 30. Teresa, thank you so much. Tell our viewers who you are and what you do.
Hi, Patrick. Good evening, and good evening to all of the folks watching. My name is Teresa Blake, and I am the owner, operator of the Nothing Bundt Cakes Bakery that's located in Henrietta, New York. I have been the proprietor of the bakery since March of 2021, so we are just coming up on our second anniversary. And I am thrilled and excited to be here talking with you this evening.
Awesome. So I kind of queued it up by letting them know that you do cakes, right? The cake lady. You're all about cakes. So tell us, in terms of Bundt cakes, what is a Bundt cake?
So a Bundt cake is a cake that most people from the South are familiar with. They are a round cake with a hole in the center. It's not a sheet cake. It's not a layered cake. It is a round cake with a hole in the middle. And Bundt cakes have been popular for many, many years. The brand, Nothing Bundt Cakes, has actually been in existence for 25 years. It is a national brand, but each of the bakeries are individually owned and operated. So yes, we, as a brand, we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. And the Bundt cakes are round, no squares, no writing, no pictures, just delicious cake.
So let's see. Let's Erica, she's from South Carolina. And Erica says hello. I wonder if Erica is familiar with the Bundt cake because she's from the South and she lives in the South. Maybe she is. But what eh, so you are a franchisee of
Yes,
the Nothing But Bundt Cakes, right? What
yes.
made you go into this type of business, Teresa?
Well, to be completely honest, so I actually have been working in various Fortune 500 companies for the past 40 plus years. And my daughter lives in Houston, Texas. And probably, 7, 8 years ago, during one of my visits to my daughter and her family, she brought home a nothing but cake. And I was like, oh, wow, these are delicious. These are delicious. And so it became our routine that every time I came to visit, we would go to Nothing Bundt Cakes. We'd pick up a cake. I'd be in awe, and then I'd go home. So probably 2018, 2019, I started thinking about, what I wanted to do next in my career. And I inquired with Nothing Bundt Cakes about potentially opening a bakery here in Rochester. And at the time, I was still employed by my in my corporate role, and they do not allow people to open a bakery if you still have another occupation. So I put that on the back burner, and lo and behold, in 2020, my employer decided it was. I was impacted, let's put it that way. And I pulled back out the bakery information, went through a rigorous vetting process, and was awarded the territory here in the Henrietta area. So it's not as if I had a desire to own a franchise. I had a desire to own this bakery because their cakes are delicious, and I have yet to come across someone who has tried our cakes and not come back day after day, indicating that they're addicting. Many people comment that they're not sweets eaters, but they love our cakes. So that's how I got here.
Very nice. Now, did you, as growing up as a young person, getting older, were you a baker at some point?
Actually, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she taught both of the girls how to cook and bake. And it so happened that every family event, I was the baker. I was the person responsible for bringing the desserts and sweet yeast rolls. So I've always enjoyed baking and cooking, and this to me was just a natural progression based on the things that I enjoy doing.
Fantastic. So let's talk about cakes because I had a couple of them.
Mhm.
Uh, what are the three top sellers?
So our top seller is chocolate chip. It is a chocolate cake with chocolate chips. I'm going to take a liberty and tell you our top four because they are unique. So chocolate chip is our top seller, and then second, third, and fourth are white chocolate raspberry, lemon, and red velvet. And many people aren't aware that red velvet is actually a chocolate cake. It is a white batter with cocoa and chocolate chips and red coloring. So in reality, red velvet is a chocolate cake, and it is one of our top sellers. Lemon is very popular with our community. Um, Lemon is very popular with our community. And then we have white chocolate raspberry. And white chocolate raspberry, many of us tend to think that it's raspberries. I don't really care for raspberries. And I personally had not been eating raspberries until I tried our white chocolate raspberry cake. And what we do with that cake is we take white chocolate chips. We ground them up to the consistency of Parmesan cheese, and then we swirl raspberry puree into the batter. And it is moist, and it is a surprising little treat. It is a surprising little treat.
Wow, you're dropping some knowledge honest here. Who knew that red velvet was a chocolate cake? Right? Had no idea about that. And then all the things that you do. I had no idea that everything that you talked about goes into making a cake. So is that something that you make daily, Teresa?
Actually, yes. So we bake all of our cakes in-house. We are a fully functional bakery. We use fresh ingredients and make all of our cakes from scratch. We bake them all there. We make our own frosting. So it is a fully operating bakery. We also have a variety of decorations that we offer, and all of our decorations are handmade. So when you buy a cake from Nothing Bundt Cakes, you get a homemade, authentic, fresh ingredients cake with a handmade decoration on the top if you order a decoration.
Wow. It seems like this is hitting home with some people. I'm gonna put some comments here. My dear wife says, "We love your carrot, chocolate chip, and red velvet cakes."
Carrot is actually my favorite as well.
Oh,
And you
very
know what?
nice.
Yeah, I want to make a comment about our carrot because many people have nut allergies and they shy away from carrot cake because most carrot cakes include nuts and raisins. But our carrot cake, instead of nuts and raisins, we use crushed pineapple and applesauce. So it makes it really, really moist. And so if I don't know if for those of you that haven't tried our carrot cake, you should definitely give it a try because it's very unique in comparison to other carrot cakes you might have tried.
Awesome. And then Alfreda says, "I had the opportunity to try the Bundt cakes. Delicious." And Erica says, "We had 3 lemon cakes for our wedding. Not certainly not the Bundt lemon cakes, right? But she had 3 lemon cakes based on what you were just saying. So
Okay.
let's talk about the journey of entrepreneurship because there are
Okay.
many people that desire to be entrepreneurs, to have their own business. What was that journey like for you, Teresa, from the start?
So I too have always wanted to have my own business. I actually went and pursued and received an MBA in order to be able to have a broader range of responsibilities in my corporate job. And my intent or desire was to run a business in uh, one of the Fortune 500 companies that I worked for. Um, Almost always they had restructured. I couldn't run a business despite the fact that, you know, I had a wealth of experience and a very broad set of skills. So it has always been my desire to operate my own business, whether it be within the corporate environment or personally. And as I said, in 2020, when I was impacted, um, this just seemed like a perfect fit. One of the things that I do want to say about becoming an entrepreneur is that it is hard work. It is definitely hard work. And you know, I have always been one with a lot of grit, and um, I'm not going to share my age, but I graduated from college at a time when there were very few people in my field or degree. So, undergraduate, I'm an electrical engineer, and I have my MBA in marketing. And when I graduated undergrad, I think less than 2% of folks in the US had an advanced degree or had an engineering degree. And add to that, being a woman of color, I've always been the first this, the new that. And so, you know, I'm very familiar with challenge and people not thinking that you can fit the bill and having to work hard in order to accomplish my goals. So I say that because even with that consistent need to work hard to accomplish my goals and having a lot of grit, this is much harder than I had anticipated. And it's, you know, a lot of long days and long nights with things that I hadn't anticipated.
Mhm.
So it is definitely challenging. I enjoy being a bakery owner. It's very fulfilling, but it is also very challenging.
Sure, sure. Because most people think that as an entrepreneur or small business owner, you put up a business, and by next week you're going to be a multimillionaire, or you're going to be making some money where you can leave the business and others work for you, and you're on the beach or traveling somewhere. But we all know that's a real fantasy, right?
Exactly. Not true.
But
Not
uh,
true.
and especially as we celebrate Black History Month and we look at the richness of Black history in this country, we all know sometimes we have to do more
Yes.
in order to get ahead. Speak to that a little bit from not only from an African American perspective, but also from a female perspective as well.
Well, I can give you some examples from my corporate days of where uh, so here's a perfect example. I graduated with my engineering degree, and I decided that I wanted to go back and get a master's degree. And at the time, I was the only female in my department, in my engineering department, and there were maybe three people of color in the 100 or so people person department. And when I went to talk to my manager to tell him that I was taking a leave, he immediately assumed that I was either pregnant or some negative thing was happening. And I had to clarify, no, I'm going back to get a master's degree, and those type things you don't think you should encounter. At least I was shocked to encounter it, but just regardless of the role that I played and the contributions that I made, the assumption was not equal as far as what they would expect me to do if I left work. Um, it was definitely an eye-opening experience to go through that. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Sure.
Mhm.
But you're here now, right?
Yeah.
You passed that, and now you're here as owner operator of your own franchise,
Yes.
and you're going through the rigors of entrepreneurship, but it's yours, right? You are
I am
your
the
name is
sole
on the
owner.
door,
Yes, I am the sole owner. The buck stops here.
right? Now, when it comes to upstate New York, Rochester, Monroe County, are you the only franchisee of Nothing Bundt Cakes in this area?
Yes, so
Okay.
we are the first and only Nothing Bundt Cakes location in Western New York. The closest bakery to us currently is in Utica, which is about 2.5 hours away. There is actually a bakery opening soon in the Buffalo area in Amherst, which of course will have its own owner as well. So you would be surprised how many people actually travel to Rochester to come to Nothing Bundt Cakes from the Buffalo area. So I'm saddened that there will be a location in Buffalo, but um, I think we have done a good job of opening the door for that individual to be successful based on the experience that the folks from Buffalo have had when they visited our bakery.
Awesome. Great. Great. So, what lessons in this experience of being a franchisee, well, give our viewers and listeners one or two lessons that you've learned to date?
Lesson number one, know your numbers. Pay attention to detail and know your numbers. Lesson number two, one thing that I would have done differently is I probably would have engaged a partner to go into this effort with me,
Mhm.
only because when you are an entrepreneur and you're the owner of a business, it's a 24/7 job, right? And we are open, the bakery is open 6 days a week. We are there baking at 8 o'clock in the morning. Although we close at 6, we are never out of there at 6. And so that's, Monday through Saturday. And when you look at wanting to do things like maybe go to a doctor appointment, that's not possible, because when you're in the baking field, from a Monroe County perspective, you have to have a person that's certified in the bakery at all times. So a partner might have helped me have a little more balance and still be able to do some of the things that I need to do for me personally in order to remain healthy and in a good place mentally.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. Now we have viewers from all over. We have viewers from all over the country. Let's say they see this and they're intrigued for Valentine's Day. They want to get their significant other some bundt cakes, but from
Okay.
Teresa Blake. Do you ship outside of the Rochester area?
We do not ship, and there is a good reason why we don't ship. We want our guests to have the best experience possible. And we're a new bakery, and my mindset is a fresh, nicely frosted, beautiful cake is what we expect to deliver to our guests. And when we ship it, it's not the same experience. There are some Nothing Bundt Cakes bakeries that ship. There's only one, I believe, in the Northeast that ships.
Okay.
We do not ship. We do not ship.
Do you think that will change as you progress?
Potentially,
Okay.
there are certain issues that come with shipping the cake. For example, the bakery that does ship, they don't frost the cake.
Got it.
They send the frosting separate, off the cake. So you have to frost the cake yourself. And if you're frosting the cake yourself, it doesn't look like a Nothing Bundt cake, right?
Mhm.
Because you don't have the process or the technique. So it's not something that I'm looking forward to doing in the short term. Um, it's not something I'm looking to do in the short term.
Okay. So those outside of your area, they'll have to fly in or drive in, right? Or have someone else ship it for them.
Well,
So,
so one other thing that I want to note, Nothing Bundt Cakes, as I mentioned, is a 25-year-old franchise.
okay.
I am bakery number 423.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So that means that wherever you live, there's probably a Nothing Bundt Cakes fairly close to you. And just get the real experience as opposed to getting a cake with no frosting that isn't as beautiful as it should be.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the opening, Teresa, I talked about the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. Then a couple of days after that is Valentine's Day. What do you have on tap for those that may want to purchase some of those beautiful cakes? And I'm going to show some of them shortly here. But what do you have on tap for those that want to make sure that they take care of business?
Right. So the one thing I haven't mentioned is we actually offer 4 different size bundt cakes. The smallest is our bite-sized bundt cakes. We call them buntinis. Then we have our personal bundt cakes that are called bundtlets. They are individually packaged. And then we have our standard 8-inch and 10-inch cakes. So the decorating goes on, generally speaking, the buntinis that are the small bite-sized cakes, which I think you have a photo of, and then the full size cakes. So for the buntinis, for example, for the Super Bowl, we have little toppers with a football and a we're number one kind of hand, that are really cute, that people have been coming in to purchase for their Super Bowl parties. For our full size cakes, we have a football design where you can get a bowl with the colors of the team that you're rooting for, and demonstrate your support for the team in that way. And for Valentine's Day, we have a variety of options. We have on our buntinis those little bite-sized cakes that you see there.
Mhm.
We have some love hearts. We have roses. We have all kinds of things that make the buntinis just step them up a little bit and a little cute, I hate to say. But the toppers that are available just give you a better look, a different look for our buntinis, and make them look a little more specific to the event that you're sponsoring.
I love that you call them buntinis.
Buntinis.
That's pretty cool. Buntinis. So, Teresa, let's talk about how can someone get in contact with you or place an order? What is
Sure.
that process?
So you can order online from our website. You can give us a call at the bakery, or you can come in. And one of the things that we are very proud of is that we don't require long lead times in order for you to purchase a cake from us. So let's say that you forgot someone's birthday, it's either today or tomorrow. You can surely come in and you can get any of the flavors. We have 10 different flavors. And as I mentioned before, we have 4 different sizes. So you can find something that is within budget that we offer with a 20, 30-minute wait. It's not, many people call us saying, oh, I forgot my, significant other's birthday is tomorrow. Can I order a cake? And we say, absolutely. What would you like? And that's one of the most advantageous benefits of Nothing Bundt Cakes is that we frost on site, we bake on site, and we have available most times almost all of our varieties, unless it's really hot at the moment. And then there are times that we don't necessarily have everything available. But give us a call at the bakery, come in, or order online.
Okay, great. Here's the last question along the lines of bundt cakes.
Okay.
And I'm hoping, praying that you do have these vegan cakes.
Unfortunately, we do not have vegan cakes.
Teresa.
However, no, what we do have though is a delicious gluten-free cake.
Okay.
So, a lot of people are going gluten free, but the gluten free products usually don't taste, they are not tasty. People come to our bakery and comment that our gluten free cake is the best gluten free product they've ever had. And we offer our gluten free cake in one flavor, but 2 sizes. And it's a very expensive cake to bake, but it's a very popular cake. And
Okay.
even people who don't need gluten free are ordering our chocolate chip cookie flavored cake. So
Very nice.
no vegan, but we do have gluten free.
Okay. All right. I'll let you pass on this one.
Okay.
Teresa, any last words as we end? Any last words for our viewers and listeners?
I would like to encourage everyone, if you haven't visited our bakery, to please stop by. We are in Henrietta on Jefferson Road in the plaza near Home Depot. So if you are aware of the Home Depot or Bed Bath and Beyond or Marshalls, we're in that plaza. And what people are surprised to find when they come to the bakery is we're not just a bakery. We have retail merchandise available as well, mugs, platters, all things to make you have a wonderful celebration. And so I really encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please stop by 720 Jefferson Road in Henrietta. Come into the bakery, give us a try. You can try our cakes for less than $6. Um, and I think it's a great little treat for less than $6.
Great. Thank you, Teresa. As we move to the end of the show, and we continue the celebration of Black History Month, tell us one person that really inspired you?
So for me, my inspiration came from home. My parents raised us with a desire, an expectation that we were going to be movers and shakers, right? The question was not, will you go to college? The question was, what college will you go to? And they set an example and showed us how we should behave, and were right on top of us when we did something that was not consistent with what they expected. You know, my dad, for several years, worked two jobs so that we, the three of us, my siblings and I, would have the opportunity to do what we wanted to do once we pursued that college degree. I look to my dad as one of the real reasons why I decided to not do something more, or I should say less risky. Um, my dad has this incentive program, or he did. He passed away 2 years ago, but he had this incentive program. He felt that education was important. So for all of the children and grandchildren, once you enter your sophomore year in college, you got a brand new car. And so he had a legacy to think about how to get us to accomplish a goal that was important and motivate us to do it. And so I personally can think of other people that motivated me, but honestly, it was my parents and the fact that they were no nonsense and they taught us wrong from right, and they expected us to behave in a way that followed the moral fiber that they had placed in us.
Thank you, Teresa. That was in terms of inspiration. So we all have someone or some ones that we
Absolutely.
look up to, that give us the inspiration and drive to accomplish. And as we celebrate Black History Month and the richness, as I said, and the diversity of Black history, I want to thank you as an entrepreneur, someone who was brought up to do the right thing and continues to do that. You move from corporate to your dream of entrepreneurship. So kudos to you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
And
you.
I pray nothing but best for you, your family, and Nothing Bundt Kate family. So thank you
Exactly.
so much, Teresa.
Thank you.
All right. So we've been talking to Teresa Blake. She is the owner and operator of Nothing Bundt Kate here in Rochester, New York. And I want to thank her for being the positive example and going after her dreams. You heard her said she always had a dream to be an entrepreneur, and she went after that dream. But it's not easy. Entrepreneur, some people think it's easy, but it's not easy. It's challenging. So make sure that you support an entrepreneur, support a small business, because that's the fiber of this society. So thank you, Teresa. Greatly appreciate that. Well, that's about it for this week. If you notice, we got some new gear in, right? Sweatshirt, the 30. We have some, and I'll start to show you these as we go through, as we move towards our anniversary, our third anniversary of the 30. But we're going to put some of this up on our website. We also have some new Jackman Group gear, some merch, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to where you can actually win some merch, but you can also purchase, whether it's the 30 or the Jackman Group gear. So that's coming in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So look forward to making sure that I can share this with you and give you an opportunity to purchase some of our merchandise. So thank you for being here, gang. I appreciate you. I appreciate you supporting the 30 since the end of March of 2020. And we'll continue to provide our guests, whether it's leaders or entrepreneurs, will continue to provide great content, the content that you desire. So if there's something that you would like us to focus on, if there's something that you'd like us to speak on, if there's some guests that you'd like us to have, if you want to be a guest on the 30, make sure that you contact me. I am going to put up our information here. You can send it to our email address, which is info@jackmangroup.llc.com. That is info@jackmangroup.llc.com. Contact us and we will follow up with you. If you would like to be part of our community as we continue to grow as part of our community, you can go to jackmangroup.llc.com and hit join community, and you'll become part of our growing community. So until then, gang, want to thank you. We hope to see you next week. Be safe. Make sure that you are safe. I pray that you and your family are safe in the coming days and in the coming weeks and the coming months. God bless you. We'll see you next week.
And this is